It's not the way it works. We don't put on our hat and figure it out and find the Holy Grail somewhere in a cave with a 2,000-year-old dude who's been guarding it.
Yeah, with the Nazis chasing us.
Right. That's not how that works.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Ask the Pastor. Every single episode, we ask Pastor Mike a really difficult Bible question without giving him any chance to prepare. And this week, one of the viewers sent in a question, and here it is, Pastor Mike. You're gonna like this. What does the Bible say about Jesus coming back? And then the question is, should I be concerned about the end of the world coming? What should I do? Is he coming soon? Should I do anything differently? They elaborate more, but that's the heart of the question.
Okay, let's start here. Jesus himself said he will return. Therefore, if you are there's a group of Christians out there called red letter Christians. They really don't follow any other part of the Bible. They just follow the words of Jesus. Even a red letter Christian has to accept the fact that Jesus himself said that he would return. So then all the writers beyond that, most of them reference in one place or another the return of Jesus. They all expected it to happen fast. I think every Christian since the apostles has expected Jesus to come back in their lifetime. So I think every generation since Jesus left has expected him to come back in their lifetimes. So there is this overarching repetitive theme inside the New Testament of Jesus returning to take his church, his bride, the Bible says, his bride home with him. And so his bride is the church, that's all of us, right. And we will be reunited with God in a new heaven, new earth. That's the end of Revelation. Now Jesus also says, no one knows the day or the hour when the Son of Man will return, when he will return. No one knows that. And so some people have tried to name dates and have tried to say, this is the day that Jesus come back. And then Jesus doesn't come back that day, and then they give an excuse. Oh, I didn't carry the one, so it's another day, and they give another day. But nobody knows. Right. Nobody knows. And I get so frustrated. With people who are, this is the way I say it all the time. They're taking a verse from Daniel, and then they take a verse from Ezekiel, and then they take a verse from Matthew, and then they take a verse from 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, take a verse from Revelation. They put them all together, and they do their math on it, and they say, this is the day he's going to return. Okay, look, the Bible is not created for us to go Indiana Jones on Jesus' scriptures. It's not the way it works. We don't put on our hat and figure it out and find the Holy Grail somewhere in a cave with a 2,000-year-old dude who's been guarding it.
Yeah, with the Nazis chasing us.
Right. That's not how that works. It's literally a story that says he's coming back and you don't know when. Right. And you don't. So how do you have to live? What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, there's a whole bunch of signs and stuff though, right?
Well, there are, but the signs are that there'll be wars and rumors of wars and all this. And you say, well, it's like that. It's just like it. They say, well, it is. But do you think it's more like that today than it was just prior to World War II? Or just prior to World War I? Or how do you think that felt in the border states just prior to the Civil War, where brother was going to fight brother and father fight son? How is it that today feels worse than that? I don't know how it equates to say in a moment where we have overcome disease to a large degree across the planet, overcome food shortages to a large degree. Most disease and food shortage is the result of bad governance, not the result of mankind not being aware. We're living in one of the greatest times to ever exist. Right. And somehow this is supposed to be worse than all the other times. There are wars, and there are rumors of wars, but there always have been. And so to say that this is the time and somehow this is the moment, and can I just say, in an American context, can everybody just take a pill and chill out? Because the idea that the government limiting freedom of speech for Christians in some way equates to persecution. Come on. Persecution was being burned at the stake by Nero. That's what Paul was writing about. Yeah. The fact that they took away your tax exempt status, let's get a grip.
Yeah.
You know, and so I have to say, I think that as the church, I'm going to say something really awful, so stay with me.
You do every episode.
Yeah, I'm going to say something really awful. I think that fear sells. And therefore, pastors who want to sell themselves jump into this end of time. Jesus is coming tomorrow and you got to get ready because he's going to show up and you're not going to be ready and you're going to... Look, all of that could be true. He could come tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he could come 2,000 years from now or 1,000 years from now. And the truth is, we don't know when he's coming. So what does that mean?
Right.
That means I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I live today like he's going to show up today. But I work today like he's not coming for 1,000 years.
That's great.
Because if he doesn't come for 1,000 years, somebody's got to establish the church and leaders for the church so that my children, my children's children, and my children's 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 children can hear the gospel if Jesus hasn't returned yet.
That's so good. It's like there's a verse, I think, and I don't know the reference off the top of my head, but Jesus literally says, you know, once every tribe and tongue has heard, then I will come.
He does. He does.
We're just nowhere close to that anyway.
We're actually we may be farther from that today than we were 75 years ago.
Wow.
Because so many countries have closed off through 75, 100 years ago, through communism and the expansion of Islamic states. So many countries have made the gospel illegal that we may be farther from everyone hearing the gospel today than we were 100 years ago.
With technology and the internet and everything that we have, you would think that wouldn't be the case, but...
No, but we also know that these dictatorial regimes can block the technology from coming in, and often they do. Now, Elon Musk is trying to fix that, but I don't think he's doing it for the gospel, but he's trying to fix that right now.
Pray for Elon either way, right?
Either way. So
he turns the hearts of the kings whichever way he wills, right?
That's exactly right.
So he can do what he wants, but
right.
That's great. Thank you for that, and thank you for sending in this question. If you have a question that you would like Pastor Mike to answer, go ahead and send it in by emailing me, dave@newlife.live, or commenting in the section below. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching another episode of Midweek at Your House. So what now? There's a whole community with our virtual church whose purpose is to love God and love people better every day. We would love to have you jump into that. Tune in this weekend right here on our YouTube channel for New Life at Your House. There are 2 services at 9 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time where you can know God better through music, teaching, and more opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and turn those notifications on. We'll see you soon.